Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question this morning is to the Minister of Finance. Many people in this province rely on natural gas to heat their homes and run their major appliances. When the Liberals and NDP brought in the cap-and-trade carbon tax, they made life expensive for millions of people in Ontario. Mr. Speaker, in 2017, the cost of cap-and-trade on natural gas bills was on average an extra $80.50 per year. But shockingly, Mr. Speaker, in 2020, according to the long-term forecast commissioned by the Ontario Energy Board, it could cost an extra $336 per year. Mr. Speaker, that's an increase of 317%. Speaker, how much is this Liberal government prepared to make families pay for natural gas?
Thank you. Acting Premier. Oh, sorry, Minister of Finance, sorry.
Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the question. I will use a supplementary to one of my colleagues. But let's be clear. We're talking about a cap-and-trade system, a wholesale product that is enabling us to provide up to $2 billion more to reinvest in new economies and a new green energy program that enables us to build our economy and increase our GDP. And furthermore, Mr. Speaker, we are...
As you could tell, I'm in the mood.
So I'm going to see if...
And I'll use it. Finish, please.
Mr. Speaker, we're now increasing natural gas into those communities that do not have that opportunity. And that only happens because we do have a program in place to enable those capital infrastructure programs that the opposition would vote against, Mr. Speaker. They're cutting back on the things that matter to Ontarians, including the expansion of natural gas to all communities across the province, and furthermore, a new economy and greater growth in our province. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Your supplementary.
Well, Mr. Speaker, back to the Minister of Finance. When the Liberals and NDPs brought in the cap-and-trade carbon tax, they knew it was going to hit families where it hurt, from keeping their car on the road to keeping their home heated through winter. It makes everything in the province more expensive. Not only is the cap-and-trade carbon tax hidden on natural gas bills, it also has HST on top of it. Mr. Speaker, is this government willing to hike the carbon tax on natural gas from $80.50 per year to $336 per year?
Thank you.
Minister of Energy, Mr. Speaker.
Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and pleased to rise and talk about cap and trade, Mr. Speaker, and of course the decision that was talked about earlier for us when we talked about consumers' bills, Mr. Speaker. So cap and trade, Mr. Speaker, and the decision on how to present that on consumers' bills was made by the Ontario Energy Board, Mr. Speaker, and that's an independent arm's-length regulator for the province's energy sector. And it did so, Mr. Speaker, based off of extensive consultations with consumers, utilities, and environmental stakeholders, including over 40 written submissions.
Member from Leeds, sorry, the member from Prince Edward Hastings, you're trying to hide behind him and you were behaving yourself, I will admit that. The member from Prince Edward Hastings is warned.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In their decision, the Ontario Energy Board highlighted that cap-and-trade costs are part of doing the business of delivering natural gas to homes and businesses, Mr. Speaker. And to quote the board and the OEP's view, separating out cap-and-trade related costs as a line item on the bill is inconsistent with the manner in which all other ongoing costs are operating the utility are reflected on the